Hello, my name is Testing Recoded, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing more Superflattened Survivals. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do just yet. I'm going to take a little bit of time and just come up with what I'd like to do. This centerpiece obviously doesn't fit with the sort of like castle-ish theme that I'm going for. So what I think I'm going to want is to turn that area into a fountain of some sort. Okay, so I'm going to write down what I'd like to do in this episode on the wall, and I will make a better list in editing, probably. We'll start with number one. The number one thing that I want to do is I want to finish flattening the inside. Okay, so I want to flatten inside the castle wall so I stop getting attacked by slimes in here. The second thing that I'd like to do is make a house for storage. So we'll put that under number 2. I'd also like to acquire some armor. Okay, the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to have different areas with different crops. So sort of like have an area sectioned out for farming. Okay, make a farming area outside of the castle. The reason why it's going to be outside of the castle is so that we can have all of our crops made somewhere else, but we can store them inside our strong castle walls. And we're obviously going to need a house. So we'll start making our diamond armor just because I think I have diamonds. Ah, there they are. So yes, I can get a full set of diamond armor currently. So we're going to wait for that to smelt, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the amount of diamonds that we need for a full set of armor. So I'm going to take a sleep, and we'll make that in the morning. Alright, so I've got 25 diamonds. That allows me to create every single piece of armor. So this completes our first objective to cover ourselves in blue diamonds. So we got a full set of diamond everything. Now, I think the next thing that I want to do is flatten all of the land. Oh, I'm looking for dirt to fill in the glowstone patches. Do I have any dirt? Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Because the glowstone in the ground is really throwing me off right now. Well, first we're going to cut down the trees, then we're going to flatten all of the grass so that nothing else can spawn inside of our perimeter. Okay, I've gotten rid of the trees. So we'll do this by sections. So there are 4 like L-shaped sections. We'll do one section at a time. I'm going to start with this one because I think this is where most of the slimes are coming from. So I will be back once this section is complete. Alright, so my shovel's almost broken, but section 1 is finished. It looks so nice when I come look at it from the castle walls instead of the watchtower. I can show you what it looks like at the watchtower. Got our guards here. I mean, that looks pretty good too, but the castle walls get you a better, closer view of it. So I'm going to do that on the other 3 areas, and I'll be right back. Our entire area is now complete, and I think I'm going to leave this in as a time-lapse and put some music behind it. So we can go knock off, what was it, number 2 on our board? I don't remember what number this was. I think it was number 2, or was it number 1? And survey says number 1. Great. So we have 4 more things left that I want to do. So I want to do number 3 now. I want to change that centerpiece into a fountain. For the fountain to make sense, we're going to have to clear out a good chunk of space. And there we go. Giant fountain. Okay, so instead of leaving this inside area with the farms and pathways and stuff, I'm gonna replace all of it with stone bricks. No, actually, I think a nice wood would look much better. We're gonna go with oak wood instead. Okay, now that looks like something you'd see in the center. And that looks so much better. I'm gonna replace these wooden planks with stone slabs. Like stone brick slabs, but that looks so much better. Okay, that definitely looks a lot nicer. That actually looks really nice. To mark off our next completed goal, which was to change the centerpiece to a fountain. So that one is done. Now, I want to make a house for storage. I want it to be fairly close to the center fountain, because I think that would make the most sense. But I also don't want it to be, like, in a grid, so to speak. So, I'm gonna make sort of a barn-ish shape. So I want a pathway to be able to connect to it. So let's put it right here. Give them a little bit of space. Like, do I want a door or do I just want to be able to walk straight in? Walking straight in seems better. So I will give it 5 wide. And let's go like 12 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we'll just put these up to the sky a little bit. And I need a lot of storage drawers because if I remember correctly, the back walls look like that, and I can use that as a nice texture. So, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I just spent a whole bunch of time crafting these. I don't think you would have wanted to see me just sit there and craft things for like 10 minutes. The way that I'm thinking is that we'll have the back wall be about 3 high, but we'll also have the entrance have a little bit of extra storage to where it's like this is the storage that we would grab if we like need something real quick. But this is the storage that is there that we have a lot of, but we're not really using too often. I also made way too many. So then we could give it a nice wooden floor. Or should we go with it? No, we're going to go with a stone floor. Yeah, we'll give it a stone floor. But I have an idea to keep our exterior looking the same. What I want to do is see how this is like a yellowish. I think if I take a log, they almost match perfectly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put this layer of logs for the baseboards, I'm going to call it. Then we also want a window. We don't want a window too close to these. Oh, actually, we do want a window close to those, and I'm thinking we'll go with 2 block windows, so something like that. So what I'm thinking is to have like 2 by 2 windows, sort of like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use stairs to offset exactly where the windows are going to be, so that instead of being this giant square window, it'll be like small wooden windows. Do this just so we can see how it would look. And then we need stairs, which I should have somewhere. Ah, here we go. So, as you can see, that looks a little too big for that building, right? Like, that's way too big of windows for that building. But we do this, that suddenly looks much better. Because it's not trying to fill up such a big space. And it also gives the windows a little bit of framing, which I think is really nice. And we can technically still see out of them. Especially if we do something like this. We could physically walk up to them. I'm probably not going to do that because I need all the storage, but it it looks pretty good. So I'm going to have to copy this, and then we're going to work on the roof. So I'll be right back. Alright, copying this to the other wall. I am out of logs? Alright, I believe I have some ladders somewhere, which I'm going to use to get to the top of this so that I can put a roof of stone brick slabs on it. I should have enough slabs, but just in case, we'll make those. Um, these. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to make a little overhang like this on both sides. And I don't want the slabs to come in and up too much. So I'm thinking we go in one and then maybe in another. So like instead of doing one on both sides like that, we could do one and then two. To give us a bit more of a slowly morphing upward roof. So if I do something like this, for example, I need more stone brick slabs, but this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So it looks like sort of like a little storage barn area. You know, like it doesn't look important, but it looks like you'd find stuff in there. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But that's the idea I'm going for. So we're just gonna craft a couple more of these. I can't get up there from the inside, so I'm gonna have to bring the ladders to the outside. But so far, that's actually looking really good. I can place ladders on the back of these. I did not even know that was possible. Okay, so a few of these are doubled up and I didn't want them to be. Yeah, like those. Perfect. Now, it's kind of dark in here. I don't have my torches. I found torches. So our next thing to do is get all the things that we have a lot of and move it into the storage area. So all of our bulk stuff. Okay, I think this is all the stuff that I really have like a good chunk of. But now I need to place the chests in here, which what I want to do is I want to place them to the left of this center window. So I need 12-ish chests, I think. We got our minerals. We got our tools and useful items. We got our automation and redstone stuff. We got nature. We got wooden stuff. We got stone stuff. We got mob drops. And we got a miscellaneous chest. Why did I put everything at the bottom? Anyways, miscellaneous side. Just because I don't have any labels for it yet. But would you look at that? There's not all that stuff that was here a minute ago. One more quick thing before we leave to go do the set up the farmer's house and stuff. I want to connect this to our pathway. Sweet. Okay, so I have chosen a space where I'd like the farming area to be. So, there are a couple of things I know about the crops. For melons and pumpkins, I know that we have to have water go in a straight line, and I only have 12 seeds, so we're going to do 6 on each side. Right. I didn't just nail that on accident. I didn't bring any of the tools with me, but that's okay. Actually, no, it's... I'm gonna go get some sticks, because I forgot to bring sticks. Okay, but what I'm going for is sort of like a cozy-ish farmer vibe. So, I want the melons and the pumpkins to both have their own space. So I know that I need at least this separation. But I don't want the pumpkins to grow on the area. So like I don't want a pumpkin to be right here and then grow right here. So that limits the options for my fence to be sort of like this. So we can have 1/2 pumpkin, 1/2 and 1/2 melon. I don't need you to eat my seed. So that will give us our first farm, which I'm going to have to make a fence gate for because I don't have fence gates. Now we need to make the farms for the wheat and beetroot. So what I'm thinking is we take this, we cut the path, so there'll be a pathway under this that they'll grow onto, and then we'll split. So this half will be, what did I say? Beetroot? Yeah, one half will be beetroot and wheat, and the other half will be the other thing. So, one, ooh, that is a lot faster than I meant. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we're going to make a dirt pathway through this. And this dirt pathway is going to lead up to a house. But we're going to give it a good bit of space to where we can have paths branch off for different types of farms. So now we need a path back to the castle, but we don't want it to look like the castle paths, right? Because it's not supposed to be as finished as the castle. So what I'm thinking is we'll take some of that gravel and we'll mix in some dirt paths. I think that would look nice. That's kind of what I was going for. Like, there's holes in the ground. We're going with that. That's perfect. Alright, so the next thing I have to do is work on the farmer's house. I don't want the farmer's house to be too big, because he's not spending his time making his house better. He's spending his time tending to his crops. So he's not going to have a very big house. He's going to have a little sort of shack with maybe like a storage silo on the side. I don't have enough wood. I'm running back to the base. The shack looks extra run down, but there's still somebody here tending to the crops, because otherwise the crops wouldn't be growing. And then we're going to give him a nice door and maybe a chair. A chair and a door. Chair for sitting outside. Chair for sitting inside. And the door. So there's no leaks in the roof, but you can tell that it's been repaired. At least the roof has. The house, not so much. I sort of ran out of slabs, but you see the vision. So, let's go over what we've done so far. We've created a farm with a rundown farming house and a little storage silo. We don't want this storage silo to be too big. He's not producing very much food as of now. And we've made this little pathway that's run down on purpose because he has to make constant treks back and forth to the castle in order to provide crops for the castle. Then we also made our storage area. We flattened everything else that was in the castle, and now it looks so much better. I don't know why there's a dark patch here. But like I was saying, it looks so much better. We have plenty of space. We can make more houses like this. Right now, I think that's a really good place to leave this episode. I made a lot of progress. I'm Testing Recoded. Thanks for watching.